John Jones. I'm a horse trainer.
Yeah. And where do you live? And
I live
train?
I live in Versailles, Kentucky, and I have a farm on Shannon Run Road.
And how long have you been training horses?
All my life. I'm 76, and I started when I was about 10 or 12.
How did you get started when you were 10 or 12?
I was born in Maryland. I grew up in over the border in Pennsylvania. There was a farm from where, when I was a kid, that I made friends with the man, the son of the kid in school. When I ride the bus with him home, he had a farm with chickens and goats and had a couple of horses. And I started hanging out there as a kid, and they got interested in saddlebreds, and they started to get a couple. And then I kind of fell in love with it and started working and fooling with them a little bit. And got out of school, and the man name was Harry Showalter. I lived with him. My parents separated when I was like 12, so I moved in with them. And they actually raised me from 12 on. So he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, I want to be a horse trainer. And he said, no, you don't. He said, you don't want to do that. He said, I tell you what, if I can get you into some college somewhere, we'll do that, and you can go in my business with me. He was a consulting engineer. I said, nope, I want to be a horse trainer. And he said, all right, I'll tell you what I'll do. He said, I'll build a barn, I'll buy 10 brood mares, and I'll buy a stallion, but I'll never buy you a show horse. You got to make it yourself. And that's what happened.
Wow.
When I was 18, 19, 20 years old, I was showing horses. I had people help me. I never worked for anybody, but I had a lot of mentors. Yeah. People that I would, Charlie Hatcher, I think he helped a lot of young people. He was a black man from Ohio, a wonderful person. Helped me a lot. So I was 24, and we were showing to Quinton, Pennsylvania, and I was, the horse trainer came up from Kentucky by the name of Richard Smith. And he offered me a job to move to Kentucky and be his horse trainer, because he and Linda were going to move to California. He had the Royal Retreat Farm. He said, you can have that and run, but bring your horses and run it. So I went to Dad Showalter, and I said, I have an opportunity to go to Kentucky and be a horse trainer. He said, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. He said, I tell you what. And his exact words were, I'll never forget it. He said, to sail big ships, you have to in deep water. He said, go. I'll send my horses with you and go. And he did. And I went there, and that lasted 9 months, and that was just, well, then that wasn't working out very well, because Richard didn't go to California, and I was supposed to get the training money, and he took all of that, and all that stuff. You know how all that goes. So then there was a fellow named Clyde McCoy hired me to go to Finchville to work for him. And there I had a horse called Admiral's Command and Happy Denmark, and I won my first World's Championship, I think, in like 76. I won the 2-year-old gaited class. And Dad Showalter came down and watched me show, and when he left, he came on home and wrote me a letter. Said he wasn't going to worry about me anymore. He knew I was going to be fine. And he was out jogging that December. He was 56, and a pickup truck hit him and killed him. Yeah, so anyhow, but a wonderful person. Wow. So he's responsible for what success that I've had. Mm-hmm. Being with the young horses, because I just found a niche. And that's what I did, because I was associated with a lot of the breeders through the years, and to develop the young horses for them. Yeah. Had, Betty Weldon, Mary Gaylord, the Vias, the Groves, all the major players I had horses for.
Cool.
On and off through the years.
Speaking of winning World Championships and success, what would you say your biggest accomplishment is so far?
I haven't caricaturized, okay? Mm-hmm. I think I won the 5-gaited 3-year-old class 10 times.
Wow.
I think. First or second. I know I did it at least, I'm pretty sure 10. That's a byproduct of getting up in the morning and going to work. Yeah. That's what the world's champions are. You get up in the morning, you go to the barn, you're on time, you do your work. That's what happens. I like that, but I'd have to say copyright. Winning the harness stake 6 times with him, and then 1 time with Foxfire's Prophet. So I've won the harness stake 7 times.
That's a pretty big accomplishment.
I've won the junior walk trot stake. I've won 2-year-old gaited classes, 2-year-old walk trot classes. But I just like the young horses. I just mm-hmm. Once they get to be 3 and 4 years old, they can go on. Somebody else can do them. Yeah, I get bored with them. Move on.
Too old.
Yeah. And that also my accomplishments too. I think some of the things I'm most proudest of are the young people that I've had with me. It means a lot to me. Allison, Tran Emily, Bob Bryson. I don't want to forget anybody. Walt Bullard, Jeff Leach. They're just really, really good, solid people.
It's a pretty good group.
Pretty good group. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any funny stories to share?
I probably need a drink or two to be able to start telling them, but I had a lot of fun with some friends of mine through the years. Tom Fairby and I were really close. Ronnie Graham and I were close. Virgil Helm. We've all got funny stories and shared a lot of things. I think the camaraderie we had back in our day with the trainers and everything was pretty special. Carter Cox. That whole group was, we did some fun stuff.
Do you have a most challenging horse that taught you a lot?
I would have to say Copyright did as far as managing a horse. He didn't need a horse trainer. He just needed a director and a manager. Mm-hmm. He was he was quirky as heck, so you're always trying to figure him out. As far as working him, hook him. I could hook him by myself at home, jogging, get to a horse show now, you be ready. When young horses, when you start them and you develop them and you do it yourself, they're not challenging. They're an empty slate and you can just do. Now if you get some things, I've had horses people sent in that I had to trick around and fix a little bit, but there's no gimmicks. Everyone thinks, this gimmick works, that gimmick works. To me, it doesn't work. The biggest mistake, this is in my opinion, the biggest mistake I see people do with young horses are, I just tell them, don't punish them, correct them, because they don't know. They don't know. So you just, repetition every day, and if they make a mistake, correct them. Don't abuse them, don't punish them, because they don't know.
Have patience.
Have patience, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could go back and give your 20-year-old self advice, what would it be?
Just be patient. Don't get anxious. Don't get, and don't get nervous. Everybody gets nervous. Everybody needs to get nervous when they show, because if you did, you don't care. Mm-hmm. But don't borrow trouble. Think about what you're going to, I'll go home at night and I think about what I'm going to do to the horses the next day. Hey, horse. I don't write it on a board. I may go in, look at them, and change my mind.
Mm-hmm. What would you recommend our next generation of trainers and instructors, how do you recommend they give back to the industry?
Just do the riding programs. Get those going. Nobody wants to do those. It's cycles. People start good big riding programs, and then they get a lot of clients out of it, and then they forget the riding program, and cycles back around again. But do your riding programs and try to create as much business as you can. But try to get along with each other. And don't let petty jealousy get in the way, because this is a very ego-driven industry, and it's hard to even seek out help. Even among yourselves, because, I think just try to get along and make it fun. Make it fun with each other. Be friends. And maybe you all do. I don't know. But we sure had a group we had friends with. We got along great, That's
good. One more question. What was your biggest light bulb moment that you've had while working a horse?
I've had several. I'm trying to remember them, Like, okay, I'll tell you one. You're racking a colt and you're fooling with it, and you're racking and racking and racking, and you're not getting anywhere, and you're just chippy going, and you're racking him along. And so you go away for 2 days, and you come home, and you get back on the colt, and they normally just rack right off. They're tired of you. Aha.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is, now, can I expound upon that? a little bit, the aha moments.
Yeah.
I found with the young, again, with just young horses is I never let them find out they can get tired. I don't work them till they hit the wall or the end of the road. I don't ever let them find out they get tired. You work them every day. The old timer horseman told me one time, work these young horses every day till they stink. And what he meant was till they start sweating and then quit. Work them every day. Of course, it depends on the weather. They work them every day till they stink, till they sweat.
Okay.
Every day it gets a little longer, and a little longer, and a little longer. And then once you get them fit, then they don't get tired. And then you get to a horse show and you keep asking them, and they don't know there's the end of the road. They haven't hit the wall. They haven't been there. They're going to keep giving it to you.
Wow.